episode 44 of the Sup'm Show. And today, we have a very interesting topic. I mean, all our topics interesting, but we going on a ledge, as we always do. You might as well just say it's episode 44. What? Why? Pride. You got the Pride word.
Say the title again for me.
What and why? Pride. Why pride? What pride? Who pride? When pride? What is this all about? Like, where does this come from? And
I wish I had a rainbow right now.
The use of such as rainbows being painted all over town right now in Halifax, my brother. And I dug into the research, and look here, just as you said, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Juan Knowles. Juan Knowles is on the show. And for all of your flooring needs in all of America and beyond, just give him a shout. Knowles Wood Flooring. And we also have the good doc, Dr. Ken Bazard.
With that powerful pride shirt he got on, Dyson, with the split.
I'm representing today.
It has begun.
I don't care what you tell me that for, Ken. That's what it's worth on this show.
I tried to find the most neutral shirt I could find.
Okay. Listen. If anyone was to bet which one of us was going to come up with the first joke, my money was going to be on Juan. If my bet as to whoever was the leader of the Nasty Five, my money would be on Juan.
You're on Ken.
So we get into the bottom of this word, pride, and I just thought it was really interesting. I understand that Halifax is having the Pride Parade. It's going to take place from July 20th to the 30th. And
for those who don't know, Dyson, let them know exactly where Halifax is. A lot of people don't know.
Halifax is on the eastern side of Canada, maritime area. The Atlantic borders, Halifax, right there on the end. You know, they get good weather. It's cold, but it's usually warmer on this side. Beautiful place, really nice people. A lot of people vacated here from the biggest cities during the pandemic because it's a nice, quiet area. Well, it used to be a nice, quiet area. Now it's a bit more busy because so many people are living there. Say even a housing shortage. But Canada in itself is a multicultural, open, safe space, right? And you would find that a lot of people that differ from what I would say we grew up in as normal society, if they have different ideas, different ideals, if they feel different about themselves, Canada, one of the places they go to be safe. And it's very good for me to say that because that's where this journey of understanding why the use of the word pride is actually going to go. Mm-hmm. But as we step into the show, welcome my brothers. I just want everyone to know right off the bat, we all speak to understand. We speak to teach what we understand. We ain't trying to change no one other than anyone that wants to change themselves. So take from it what you will. We're going to talk about it so we can figure it out and then work it out. Sup'm Show. What we doing, brothers?
Your topic, bro.
All right.
That's what we doing.
Like I said.
Can't you say on us just now? No, Dyson, not this time. Your topic.
Okay. I can set the stage.
Topic, you started off.
I set the stage.
I got to tell you, Dyson, when you came up with this topic, right? I say, you know what? We can get banned after this for sure.
No, man. You know, we intelligent. See, when you speak from a space of intelligence, people have no choice but to listen. And I asked some questions when I was doing my research. I asked some people, I said, you know, what does the word pride mean to you? So I spoke to some people that actually go into the march. What does the word pride mean to you? Mm-hmm. Oh, it means that I should be proud of who I am. Okay, fine. But the acronym was actually established by a gentleman. His name was Steve. And I thought it was funny because, you know, they say God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, right? It's a big joke in the Bahamas. So I thought it was funny that Steve came up with this organization and they call it Pride. The P is for protection. The R is for rights. But actually, the P is for personal rights in defense and education. So let me just say how it is. So let me change that. Personal rights in defense and education. That wasn't even clear. That wasn't too clear to me.
Education.
In understanding exactly what pride is all about. Because, okay, personal rights, everybody deserves, their rights to be respected. Everyone deserves to be defended, especially those that can't defend themselves. And the education part, it really perplexed me. Isaac clearly has an idea. YouTube algorithm. You know it.
I didn't know each letter. I didn't know each letter even stood for something. As a matter of fact, that's something new right now.
Yep, it's an acronym. 1966.
You knew that, kid?
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
His first name is Steve. Now, this organization only lasted 2 years. But before this organization came around, there were a bunch of other gay societies, gay rights societies, and stuff like that. When they were fighting for a cause. So this actually birthed it from one of many situations where as a gay person in a public area had been attacked simply because they were gay. So that's where this personal rights in defense and protection and education came into play. It was to protect the gay community's right to be public about their business. And I'm not saying doing things grotesque publicly. And that could be a topic of understanding that we need to touch too.
It's, if I may, for a second, or a minute or so. It's funny that you say that because the grotesque part, okay? Because there are many gay men in particular that you may hear on YouTube or just speak in general. And a lot of them are not even down with the grotesque, situation, how they try to portray it or put a different modern day spin on it.
What do you mean by grotesque?
Well, grotesque, in my opinion, if we even want to go off of naturally man and women, not women with women, not man with men, okay? We're going to go off naturally, right? Grotesque in my mind would be doing certain things in public and not caring how it offend others because you feel as if it should be accepted.
Right. That's
my definition of grotesque. And that doesn't necessarily have to be
preference.
Right. It doesn't necessarily even have to be, predominantly towards gays. That could be towards straight people also, and it's considered, in my opinion, grotesque.
Exactly.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Kent Bizarre.
No, it's just the word is a little strong.
Oh yeah,
In my opinion, I think the word is a little strong. But because I'm trying to. Again, guys, I've been preparing all week for this. I'm trying to be as objective and as fair.
Your shirt says it all. Your shirt says it all.
No, seriously. Again, one thing that we try to do, right?
Yeah.
What I think we do pretty well on this show is, even though a lot of people don't know this, we don't practice for the show.
Nope.
We don't go over what we're gonna say. We don't talk to each other about what we're gonna say. Nope. We kind of just go with it.
All natural reaction.
But one thing is for sure is that we say we don't do is we're not gonna just talk based on emotions.
Exactly.
Okay? Try to speak on facts and not let the emotions overtake whatever you're saying.
Get the best of you. Right.
For me, sometimes I get strong emotions on certain areas of this topic. I don't have no problem with people marching, but there are other things that I have issues with, right? Personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yet still, I still want to remain as objective and as respectful as possible. So that's why I say protest, because it's a little strong. Because it sounds like something that sounds something like repulsive. I don't think two people kissing or making out is repulsive. But if I personally,
we're not even talking about kissing and making out. That's regular.
Let me jump in right there. Because there's the organization was formed to combat discriminatory laws. They
Okay.
feel as though they were being discriminated against. And these were laws. These things were in legislature.
Now this is
Like,
where I start to
okay,
rock. So what is the discriminatory law? What is this law?
okay. A discriminatory law. I have five of them written down. Same-sex acts and sodomy were being prosecuted. If they saw that you were having in a relationship with someone of the same sex, it was against the law to do that, and you could go to jail. You can go
Right.
to prison for it.
That's almost
That's
50
a
years.
law, right? That's a law. They
That's a
got
while ago.
even heterosexual acts that were unnatural. If you had a heterosexual relationship, a man and a woman in a relationship, but they were doing acts that were considered unnatural, you could go to
Such
jail.
as, such as.
Such as I don't butt invasions, you could go to jail.
That's sodomy too. That's
Say
also
button invasion. This boy making it sound like aliens coming into the scene. Say button invasion.
that's also sodomy. That's also sodomy.
Right,
No, but
right.
but a lot of laws didn't make a lot of sense back in the day. We used to have laws
Today
for
that don't make sense.
I understand, but let me
I believe
finish the
this law.
last three
Okay,
quickly.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Just cross dressing was against the law. You could go to jail. You dress up. If you're a woman, you dress as a man, you go to jail. If you're a man dressed as a woman, you can go to jail. They would use. There were laws that if you were if you acted like if you were gay, you couldn't join the army.
Okay.
No gay, no homosexuality in the army, and they would use that as they would use in any employment. You couldn't be employed if you were gay. Period. That's a law. And then you couldn't adopt children. You couldn't foster any children
This was a
if
law in Halifax
if you were
or just a law overall?
a law overall across the board in most societies, especially Western civilization. This
Okay.
is what it was. Now, when you open it up to all societies and you go back further into the history, then you realize that when people say homosexuality isn't anything new, because there's even mythology, Greek mythology, that talks about homosexuality as ancient hieroglyphics that display homosexuality. There's Native American, Native Indian history that different tribes, they used to call them, I wrote it down, they used to call them,
The Gadians.
no, they call them, man, I put down their
Come on,
actual
guys. That was
names.
a good one. Come on now. Come on.
That was a good one. But
They
the
call
high
them, they
rise,
call them the Washington Redskins.
the high rise in South Asia and the far Afafine in Simonian culture. But there's an Indian culture that they call two sides. Two sides. They call them two sides. Exactly. Where there would be however you were born, man or woman, you played both roles. You would weave with the women, then you go hunting with the men.
Mm.
So, and this is way back when, it been around a long time, and then there were laws that pretty much started to be forcefully pushed during the whole Christian movement.
Oh. When you say weaving with the woman, as far as which woman, weaving like baskets?
Yeah, weaving baskets.
Okay, so weaving baskets doesn't
Weaving and
necessarily mean
gossip.
like man.
But if you weaving and gossiping and fluffing and being as if you are a woman,
Yeah, I guess.
then the women usually weave the baskets, the men hunt to
True.
put stuff in
So
the basket.
basically, when are we talking about here as far as these laws are concerned?
Right.
Oh, these some of these laws are just now being addressed. So up until the point of
But they
1966,
obviously
these
weren't.
laws were in place.
They obviously weren't being enforced because that's the point I was going to make. These
They
laws
were
are obviously
being
not being enforced. No, I'm saying that.
enforced
Uh-huh.
enforced selectively. This certain Steve guy, he would be like, they had gay bars back then. I don't know if y'all remember. There was no. There was a movie, a very popular movie,
We remember
Police
later.
Academy. Police Academy.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I know you know Police Academy. Police Academy, where they had the part of the show when they was in a gay bar, and everybody was awkward. But
Right.
then police officers would raid the gay bar. That's what they did back in the day. They would find these gay establishments and they would raid them, push them around, squeeze them for money, lock them up, do all type of things to them when they would be out of the public eye, carrying on about their business, hanging out, dating, whatever the case may be, and they would get locked up and harassed for it. So from that, these gay organizations were born, like Pride. Like I said, though, Pride lasts 2 years.
Again, we're talking about decades ago.
Yeah, we're talking about from 1966 until 1968. And
All right.
then other organizations were born from then. And they
Right.
started, and the agenda continued to push. But the initial purpose for the agenda was for personal rights in defense and education. So, but let me show you, they had 6 departments: a legal department, a citizenship department, a social department, community service department, special activities department, and a publications department in the original Pride organization. So to answer the why question, why Pride? Pride initially was meant to protect the rights of the gay communities to be public and to do certain things that they felt as though the law discriminated against them doing. They would get arrested. So that was their purpose. And they had a big legal department. They even had a pocket lawyer book that you would pull out if you was ever getting harassed, and you could quote the law back to the police officers. It was a deal. It was an organized mission to be able to be gay in public without getting harassed. That's the initial purpose of Pride. Okay. Now, what is Pride today? Is a big question.
As a question?
That's a big question.
Who you asking though?
Yeah, the board, our panel. You asking the panel.
Listen, I'm ignorant.
Two spirit. Yes, it's two spirit. You're right, Ruckus. Two spirit. You're right.
Mm-hmm. You educated me a second ago. I love learning new things. So I didn't know a couple of those points. So that's good to know, right? But my thing is, and I apply the same logic to a few other things, like we just had a reversal on affirmative action a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Women's rights and whoever else rights, like.
Wait, get off the camera, bro. What's wrong with you?
Like my thing is, okay, let's ask this question straight up, and let me hear an answer to the question. What rights are you saying that you don't have because you are, or you've chosen this way of life? Because a lot of times certain persons will take the fact that they can't do something and apply it to some type of cause that it doesn't apply to, or they try to ride a coattail of not sorrow, what's the word, pity, or having people jump on their train and say, hey, yeah, they need rights. Like, what rights? You guys?
What do you mean? Like Black Lives Matter? That? Oh,
just like that. Just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
What rights? Just like that. What rights do you not have? There are no. What rights do you not have? The only one I can think of off the top of my head, I think not every state has allowed same-sex marriages yet. That's fine. But I mean, truth is though, really, how many people really want to get married? Like really? Is this a plague? Is there a bunch of people out there who trying to get married and they want to get married and they can't? Like seriously though, how many people are there today in 2023 really trying to get married? Male or female, homosexual, gay, bisexual, whatever.
Not many.
Really trying to get married, and this is a problem, and it's such a problem that they need to march in the street about it. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding is a lot of the older gay community isn't on with the whole.
And then, man, good. Being married is just a piece of paper, and as a matter of fact, they should take advantage of the law as it is right now, because right now, you all can live together for as long as you want, enjoy each other like you're married, and if you need to separate, you separate, and you take your stuff and go, and this one take their stuff and go, and that's it, right?
Mm-hmm. Shit, so heterosexual marriages was trying to be that way for the longest.
All right, so if you see all the problems, and I saw this in a movie, some guy made a joke in the movie. He's like, y'all want to get married? Oh, it was a comedy show. He's like, y'all want to get married? Y'all see what we going through? and y'all y'all want to get married? Like really? You
Right.
want someone to divorce you and take all your stuff? Like for real? Like you don't want that. Just enjoy
Right.
your relationship. Have fun for as long as you want to have fun. And if you decide not to be married anymore, then the law doesn't have to get involved in that.
Yeah,
Marriage is just a piece of paper, it's a contract. You
that's
know what
all
I
it is.
mean?
The state.
The real thing about marriage is how you behave and how you live with each other. That's the real thing about marriage. Piece of paper is not going to change that. You know what I mean? So
So
I don't see the big deal there. You know what I mean? Now, the last point, you could possibly make a case for adoption in some cases. But men can get pregnant now, so this is not a problem anymore, right?
two spirit men.
Men can get pregnant now, right?
Yeah, but we understand it's a complicated. Let's go from right there about the bizarre things that can happen. I find it bizarre because um we have teenagers, right? And teenagers get into this space of self where they want to now assert their individuality and to be what they want to be as opposed to what their parents want them to be. And it's a good healthy moment in the time of a child's life, but you are challenged by a child the entire time. My understanding of a recent event is of a young teenage, can't remember if it's a boy or a girl, um, but their birth gender,
Mhm.
they never felt, let's just say it was a boy, they never felt like a boy, they always felt like there was a girl. I think it was a boy, felt like it was a girl. And at the age of something around 15, 16, the parent of this, I think there was a single parent, a mother, decided that they were going to allow this 15, 16-year-old boy to go through with an actual sex change surgery.
Let me stop you right there for a second. You guys ever noticed, right? Whenever things like this come into play, right? It's always the men. You'll ever notice that? Very, very rare. It will be the women trying to do something masculine when it comes to this particular gay pride situation. It's always the men that push the hardest. It's always the men that's willing to do the sex change situation just to go the whole 9, 10 miles. And the
Yeah.
women just, it's never the other way around. Never. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So this young adult, 15, 16-year old, did the sex change. 2 years later, went off to school. I don't quote me on what happened, but this is just a general idea of what's happening, and it's not nothing new. Went off to school, waited until they went off to school, and committed suicide
Wow.
because they no longer wanted to be a girl. And there's the dangers now when we start to become, I would say, I'm going to use stupid in its professional
For a second, guys.
space. When we become stupid about liberty, right? Because not just because you are able to do it means that you should. You understand? And that's something like what you were talking about just now, Ken. Not just because you have the knowledge to facilitate, or there is a surgery where you can change your sex, means that you should change your sex.
Well, here's the thing. And this is one of the problems I have. Now, not every member of the community is responsible for this type of stuff.
Absolutely correct.
It's actually the minority, and because it's the guys further down the acronym, right? After the LGB is the ones after that, right?
Hmm.
So, and just a little note, I read something online about there's actually a group of LGBs who believe that they should be separated from the TQ and the plus.
Too many
Yeah,
fucking rats.
P2Q. There's
Yeah.
2C. They added the 2C at the front. I don't know what that was for. I didn't get a chance to look at that.
Well, the LGBT, so there are a group of LGBTs that feel that they should be
Yeah,
separated because
take
they
us off
think,
of that.
because they feel like their agendas are different and they don't have the same their tech their methods are different. But anyway, so the point I'm making is to do something like that, and the fact that the notion for kids to have what they call gender affirming surgery, gender
Right.
affirming, which is very um what's the word? Very is very presumptuous to call it gender affirming surgery, because you're saying that this is the gender that this person is supposed to be. So it's a gender affirming surgery. This is the gender it makes you, right? That it doesn't sound like any other type of surgical term that I've ever heard in my life. So the term alone is annoying me, right? Because
Mhm.
it doesn't make medical sense to that term, gender affirming surgery. Okay?
Mhm.
But the
Which
point
is, which is,
which is a very risky, not well studied, not there's no standard of procedure for it. Surgery where for the females they remove breast tissue, they remove and they insert other prosthetics. In some cases, they remove all the reproductive organs. Sometimes they don't remove the organs. Sometimes they just do double mastectomy, and they keep
yeah.
the ovaries. Right? Those are the trans men.
And
All
that's
right?
how men can get pregnant.
That's how
Right.
men can get pregnant.
The
Mhm.
Right?
Sup'm Show, guys. We are here to entertain and educate. We
And
invite you to join us.
so when they say men can get pregnant, that's what they mean. These are women who had mastectomies, retain their wombs and ovaries, and can still receive sperm and carry a baby. So then they say men can get pregnant, right? That's nonsense. So so and then there are the ones who go even further and they remove the reproductive organs from teens, and some as early as pre-menstruation. Okay, to remove
Mm. Mhm.
organs, to remove these organs, to me is nothing short of barbaric. It's irresponsible. It's extremely irresponsible. All right, and I hate that idea. As a matter of fact, in Canada, and somebody in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong, but
Right around the corner from Dyson. Right around the corner from Dyson.
I recently read in Canada that what they're telling the psychologists that you cannot tell if parents bring a child to you and say my child is my child doesn't feel like they're a boy, they feel like they're a girl, and the child says that, even if you clinically determine that this child has some mental issue, legally you cannot say to them that, hey, you have you have a dissociative disorder or whatever. You can't say that to them now. You have to agree with them. And that's the stuff I hate.
Or else what?
Or else you lose your license. So
Wow.
I hate stuff like that that's trying to force you to play a role in somebody else's decision. I'm just gonna say decision. I'm not gonna say craziness or nothing like that. I'm just gonna say somebody else's way of life. So you're forcing me to participate in somebody else's opinion and way of life for risk of losing my job, losing my livelihood, being persecuted publicly, getting cut from YouTube, getting banned from my show, whatever.
Yeah.
For risk of all of that stuff. To me, that's oppression, and that's something you should be marching for. You know what I mean? That's something to march for. That's what
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Truthfully speaking, right? I want you to answer this, right? About 7 years ago, when I had this conversation with you, and I know you remember, right? What did I tell you what was to come? I already told you guys this, you in particular.
Yeah.
I told you, am I right or wrong? And now it's manifested in full circle right now. This is before all of this stuff became into play. I could remember having a conversation with Kent Bazard, another brother of the Nazi Five, Gene Smith. Right? Anyway, it's another story. Anyway. No, boy. No, ain't no cut nothing. No cut nothing.
No names. No names.
No.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen,
Okay. Right. We don't know. We
I
don't
had
know
the
what it is.
conversation with these
What did you
brothers,
say,
right?
sir? What did you say? Yes, sir.
I had the conversation with you, and I told them, listen, once you get, which they were pushing for, once you get the opinionated masculine man out of the way by any means necessary, it will be much more easier to implement exactly their agenda and what they're pushing for. Now, I'm not coming at the gays. Listen, you live your lifestyle how you want to live it. It has nothing to do with me. Okay. I'm not coming at those that, just live the lifestyle. I'm coming at those that try to impose your ways and actions on others that don't necessarily agree with you all the way. You understand? But I told these brothers 7 years ago, or maybe even 8 years ago, once you get the strong men out of the household, particularly black men, it's nothing for anybody to come in and push an agenda, because as long as the females are left behind, they have no choice but to go along with what they're being told. That's their nature, bro. That's what, and the funny part about it is a trickle down effect. There's a trickle down effect from, that's how the whole feminism right came into play. Okay. Now, when I say feminism, I don't mean, the actual naturally feminist woman. There's two different, there's two different definitions of that. We're not talking about the feminist female that does what's right by her family. She support her husband, making business decisions. We're not talking about those ones. We're talking about the ones that are quick to scream, they don't need no man. And then when the situation occurs that you actually do need a man, you quick to cry, I'm a female now. Does that make sense?
Right.
So once you get the strong masculine man, I don't care what race he is, black, white, Spanish, Arabian, whatever, out the way, the ones that's left will always agree, because they don't have the fight in them, bro. They're not built for it.
And what I'm seeing a lot of examples of right now, even just from random videos that are posted on the internet, are trans women attacking real born birth women.
Exactly. We talk about this too.
They think because their position is trans women are women, right? So if trans women are women, so that means they can beat up on a woman because they're women. So it's okay. They're not men.
Yeah.
So they can hit a woman, no problem. So this actually means if I'm in the right city, and me and my spouse or some other female get into a fight, I could say I identify as a woman and not be prosecuted for assault. It's not physical assault on my wife anymore. It's just what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, this is like you said, Tyson, and it's hard to find another word. This is where the stupidity comes into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another area I have personal issues with is that same one, the physical realm, sports and physicality.
I was
I
I
know
segue to that.
My brothers hate me for this, but I cannot stand by and watch a woman be assaulted by a male. If I see that, I'm gonna most likely insert myself into the situation. I can't do it. I almost got shot, and we told the story.
Someone pick me, please pick me.
I almost got shot. Hold on, I almost got shot jumping in somebody's business, right? But the point I'm making is, so if I see a trans, I keep trying to get the terminology right. I'm really trying, guys. So if I see a trans woman attacking a woman, I jump it in. Like I can't stand. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just stand there and say, "Oh, there's two girls going at it, man"?
If I'm there with you, you're going to stand there, yes, sir.
Stay out people business. Them
You're
grown
definitely
people.
going to stand there I mean, and if me and you got to
But
fight, we got to fight. We have got later on, but you
Okay,
definitely going to say,
okay,
but
okay. What about
let
sports? What about sports?
yes, sports.
let's
Because
talk sports.
I just read where there's a trans woman who there's a race that is one of the preliminary races towards the Olympics. And this trans woman won the race, and she's celebrating with her second and third place. And the second place winner is the favorite to win, and she is a natural born female. So you watch the race and you see that they're hitting the track. The favorite to win is in the front, and then the trans female comes up and passes her at the end and wins the medal, and it's all good.
And they sandbag, bro. They have to sandbag. You
I'm,
watch them.
yeah,
See,
I,
see,
I,
it's, go ahead, Dyson. Go ahead.
I mean, we look at society, because society is who's going to make the final determination of what we are actually going to exist in, what we're going to live with, and society is okay with that.
I don't think
Now,
so. I don't think so. I don't think so. You know who's
then
not okay with that?
the
Okay, okay.
medal should be the trans female. Is it okay for her to be inside the race to begin with? How did she
Dyson.
get in the race if the sports organization, the track and field organization of whomever is being fair? How is it? How can I even call it fair? Is that what pride is now? Pride is the ability.
But ain't this where the fucking word equality comes in? See, this we got to be so careful pushing these terminologies around, bro. You understand? Because it's this close, right? Not even this close. Maybe even closer from being just stupid and idiotic, like Ken said. You understand? And guess what? I'm sorry, ladies. This is not our fight. This is not men's fight. You understand? Because let me tell you why it's not the men's fight. Because if you're going to allow a man to enter your circle, you understand me, and deem themselves a female, and you go along with it, and you're a natural born female, that we out of that. We are out of that. Y'all really, 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 really don't need no man when it comes to that side of shit, because you're allowing someone to take something that's naturally away from you. That's
But bro,
just stupid and idiotic.
what's even stupider, right? And again, this is where the lines start to divide, even among the feminists, right? And I talk about the modern feminists. They even have the
Yes.
division now, right? Because the ones who are for it and who support trans women that are women are the ones who are not involved in sports. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They're the ones who are involved. The ones who are
If
the
not
ones,
all females are supportive of it, right? Hold on, can I answer that comment? If not all females are supportive of it, right? Then more need to step up and start saying something about it.
speak
The
up.
point is, when you stay quiet, it seems like you support it.
That's on the second. I feel as though that's on the second and third place winner. That's all. Every female that was on the
No,
track
but you see, bro,
with the
they have to be
trans
careful. They
female.
have to be careful too, because they're in a, especially at the professional level. They could lose they could lose contracts. They could lose opportunities to run it, because even a track and field is a tricky sport to be professional
Whose
because
fault is that, Kent Bazard? Whose fault is that
Economic
for allowing
oppression.
it to go down like that in the first
no, but
place?
listen to what I'm saying though. Listen to what I'm saying. Unless they all come together and none of them run, right? That's the
That's
only
what
way.
I'm saying.
That's the only way it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Not like they all have to come together, because
I hear you.
they have to make a stand as a group. It can't be one girl here, one girl there.
Yep.
Right.
It have to be a group, because the girl who lost who came second in the NCAA swimming thing, who lost to the guy, right? Who lost to the trans woman, right?
Right.
The one who came second. She started talking, and you know what happened to her? She got suspended. She eventually got expelled from the school, right?
Agreed, Ruckus.
She had to
Agreed
finish
100%, Ruckus.
she had to finish up at another school. So what I'm saying is, and that's not even the professional level. That's NCAA level. At the pro
Mhm.
level, right? Imagine if
Mhm.
Nike is your sponsor. You know Nike them ain't going against the LGBTQ. So
No.
No,
if you
nobody is.
if you as a Nike athlete say something about LGBTQ, you could lose your contract. And in track
Right.
and field, it ain't like basketball where They make millions of dollars in a few months. In track and field, they might make $1 million a year working very hard. They might make $1 million. All right.
Right.
So I'm
Hmm.
saying, it's a lot of hard. Track and field is different, bro. And then you got to be invited to an event. You can't just show up to the event and say, "Hey, I run it." You got to qualify for the event, or you got to be invited to the event. It ain't like basketball.
So
You on the Heat, you on the Heat, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's tricky in some
on there
sports.
in
It's
order
tricky.
to strong arm you into staying out of or just it's a shut up.
But you see
Shut your
that
mouth
the
or go broke.
IOC made a stand a few weeks ago and said that the International Olympic Committee made a
Hmm.
stand a few weeks ago and said that they are not going to allow trans women in track and field at the Olympics.
Hmm.
However, however, the IAAF, which is the International Athletics Federation, the Track and
Right.
Field Federation,
Right.
has a different position on that. You see
Okay.
what
All
I'm
right.
saying? So it gets complicated, but
Let
you're
me
100% right. You gotta stand up. You can't shut up, but you have to do it together. It can't be one or two. It gotta be at least most of y'all. Everybody gotta stand up because the men can't say anything. As soon as we open our mouth, they can jump down our throat and say, "Boy, y'all this, y'all
yeah.
misogynistic, y'all hate, spreading hate."
And it's so funny, bro. Ladies, we on your side, We're on your
Definitely,
side. We're
100%.
definitely on your side. The thing is, the minute we show our ass for y'all turn around and stab us in our back. We even can switch this over onto some MMA shit. Close
It's big.
combat fights, whatever. Why is it so a shock when a transgender woman enters the ring and beat the shit out of a natural woman? Why is that so a shock? It's a fucking man. What do you all think gonna happen?
The reason
Like,
why,
All
this
right.
is where
So
common sense. This is where common sense, right? And the real
it's not
world
fair.
don't meet, bro.
but bro,
Yeah.
again, just let me make this just to answer what you're saying. One, or add to what you're saying. There's that branch of modern feminism that's kind of split. There's one that believes that or that understands that men are physically bigger and stronger 90 to
Yeah,
99% of the time than
yeah.
female.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are the delusional few who believe that all women and men are just as strong as each other and we can produce the same amount of power and we're equally physically capable and all of that crap. There's actually
Till they fuck around and find out.
they believe that. And you can see examples of that. You go on YouTube and put in man versus woman boxer. Go put it in. There's a lot of women out there who think that they can actually do.
Guys, I wanna put the nail in the a point that I brought up earlier about young adults and children. And I did some research into that because I feel as though it needs to be said for parents out there that are struggling with how to say no to their children. No is not really no. Your child will not always be a child. And here's my point. These children grow up, and there's a reason why there's an age of I would say they say majority where a child becomes an adult. There's an age for that. It varies between culture, but pretty much it's between the age of 16 and um, and 20. It's 20 in Japan. It's 18 in most places. Some places is 16, like Germany and some other places. When it comes to how old a child can be in order to get a sex change, it recently in a certain place it dropped from 16 to 14. And I want parents to understand this here. Make these children wait till they are responsible for their own choices. You do not assist them in making a choice that they may regret in a couple years because it's your fault. If they are not an adult, if they are not, I would say go with the highest number, the 20. If they're 20 years old, then you just say, hey, you could do whatever you want when you get 20.
Okay,
That's
what's
not
our rule,
abuse.
bro? What's our rule? 95% of people are what?
It's 95 now.
It's 95, bro. Listen.
Hey,
It
looking good
went
for
from it went from
humanity.
70. It went from
From
75
70.
75 to 85. It's now 95, and probably by next week it'll be 98. Right now, it's 95% of people are what?
Stupid.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. That's just the way it is. I didn't make the rules.
Yeah, I think it's idiotic, and like I said, that's my two issues. I don't have an issue with anybody's lifestyle, but I don't have an issue with anybody marching. I don't have an issue with you dressing up, identifying
Oh,
as a
whoa,
woman.
whoa, 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 whoa. Did you see that comment, sir? Take that back, man. No need to go on YouTube to see that. You live with one who feel. Hey, may I ask, feel what?
No,
Yes,
Because
that
if
was
I
in
am correct,
response. That was in
feel as
response
if
to
a woman is as strong as a man.
yeah, that yeah. Yeah, that was in response to that.
that was a response to what I was saying.
Yeah.
When
Well,
you said that you have some women, and I quote you, you can't bizarre. You said that you have some women out here that actually feel as if they're actually as strong as a man.
Right.
And this was a comment that come up right here that we don't need to go to YouTube to see any of that. You live with one who feels that way.
I don't think she believed
Wow,
that.
wow. Yeah, hey, you know, Tree. You just talking but talking. You don't feel that,
You got to
and
understand.
she don't believe that. She don't believe that.
You
it's
got to
all a fun and
understand.
game. You know that's not the case. But
She,
move on. You
But you
know
got
that. Come on now.
you
we
got to
don't believe that. At Empire
Yeah,
Fitness, there
come
are
on.
men and women in there working out. When the men go in there and work out, they lift the entire gym. When the women go in there and work out, they burn hole in the treadmill. They
That's it.
even interested in they interested
That's
in
it.
very different
We got some
things.
strong girls. We got some very strong girls.
No, you do
We
have
got some
some
very
strong
strong girls.
girls, but the
No,
strongest man that walks into Empire Fitness and does a deadlift is lifting more than the strongest woman that goes into Empire Fitness and does the deadlift. I get bet money
The
on it.
fact that you got to understand,
double that better.
guys. I've been married to this woman. I've been around her 20 years. She's trolling, bro. Okay,
Let's move
She's
on.
what?
All right.
She's
she's
what?
trolling. She's
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
trolling.
wanna before we hit the hour mark, I wanted to go exactly where we were headed, which is what liberty actually means, and we've already I guess asserted that the LGBTQ plus community and certain variations of it are literally taking advantage of what was started back in 1966, which was just a demonstration or an organization that came together and ensure that they are protected, that they're allowed to be themselves in public. Because I know back in the day, when you find someone that was gay in the Bahamas, they used to get beat up. Kids who was a little bit too feminine, but if they were boys, they used to get beat up. We used to tell little girls not to climb trees. You's a little girl, you can't climb, get out the tree. We used to say these type things.
Parents
So
did that.
yeah,
Kids didn't.
parents did that. Well, yeah, kids was just being kids,
We
and we
thought girls
understand
who
that.
did that was cool.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want
But
no girl climbing no tree, mate. That's y'all. Right.
but today we have people that just want to do whatever it is that they feel like doing, and they hide behind this, oh, I should be free to do whatever I feel like. Well, you are free to do whatever you feel like, as long as you're doing it to yourself. As long as you're doing it to yourself, you can do whatever you feel like. But when you start to impose your beliefs, your ways, and I think Juan said this, on other people, you're invading somebody else's
Belief system. Yeah.
rights. You're invading them. So do what you want to do. And that's my stance on it. I don't know if y'all differ.
And adults, you know what? Let me add on to that. Adults make an adult decision, whether it be lesbians or gays. That's on y'all. My whole situation is when they actually try to implement the way they think on children. You see, that's another side of the game right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's another side of the game right there that nobody wants to address. It's like,
Say,
why go so hard pushing the agenda towards children?
yeah,
I
yeah,
know why. You understand? But why? And then you actually have parents that, excuse me, stand by and allow that.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And then when things get out of hand, it's woe is me. I didn't know. That's why we always come up with an analogy that 95% of people are stupid because nobody gets into the common sense realm until shit get absolutely fucked up.
Yep.
Then everybody want to run rampant and try to hurry up and fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. With Ruckus saying it is literally two S LGBTQ plus. That's the new Wi-Fi password for if you want if you
What?
want to get Wi-Fi at the Pride Parade, it's 2C. I just clowning. Y'all don't hate me. I just said it's like a Wi-Fi password. But I just have to just reiterate that I just as the
Ruckus not a
older
password, man. You know that by heart.
and I just had to reiterate, he didn't do it. The older gay community in a lot of instances does not side with the younger gay community because it
Agreed.
is a matter that the younger gay community is taking advantage of what the older gay community and a lot of young people like we ourselves, we didn't know that pride was an acronym, right? And there's a lot of young people that don't know what this is all about. They only are aware of what they're being fed. So I read this 18-year-old said an 18-year-old girl says that I am a boy and continued to say it throughout the course of their life. So now the entire family just started to say to the child that yes, you are a boy, but it's a girl. That to me, um,
Is that the kids' problem though, or the idiots that surrounding the kids?
let the child do that. And this is how I feel with adults. If you want to identify as whatever you want to identify with, that's fine. You call yourself that. But for you to try to force me to say that I have to acknowledge you as that, you are invading upon my beliefs and my rights. I have a right to call it as I see it. You don't have a right to, you don't have to
Let me,
answer me. You
yeah.
could say, oh, he ain't talking to me. Right? That's your right.
With all this with all this identifying foolishness, right? Let me ask you all a question. If I go outside right now and hold up and punch a woman right in the face, knock her dead on the floor, right, and the cops show up.
You better get a sex change,
Oh,
please.
no. What if I tell them I identify as a woman? What ain't gonna happen to me?
It depends on what state you're in.
No, okay, let's say I'm in that state. Let's say I'm in that state where they actually take that stupid shit seriously.
If you're in the UK, you straight.
So you mean to tell me I ain't changing nothing about me now, okay?
No.
Same sexy chiseled features what I have right here. If I'm if I'm in the UK, if I'm in the UK and I punch a woman in the face
Listen to me.
and the cops show up on the scene and I
This
say,
just
listen,
happened.
officers, I identify as a woman, so y'all be easy.
This just happened, or this just was passed in the UK. This is why I'm saying, what rights are you talking about? This has just been passed in the UK and Australia, two of the most progressively LGBTQ countries in the world, I would say, right?
Mhm.
Once you can, all you have to do is say that's what you are. You don't even
Yeah.
have to have the surgery anymore, bro. You just have to say it, and legally, that's what you are.
Really?
So, yeah. So this is just, check it out. Google it. This is just passed in Australia and the UK. The laws are a little different, but they were just passed. So the people who had the surgery were kind of upset because they were like, "Hey, we had surgery." You understand what I'm saying? So you're trying to tell me these people could just come along and just say it now?
Bro,
So now,
that's so stupid in so many ways.
so again, this is because we went downhill on the stupid train.
Yeah, we
And
jumped down the
so,
rabbit
and
hole.
so, and this is where you are, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. There was a guy in London, went to the female powerlifting championships, identified as female, absolutely destroyed all the records, and then re-identified as male when he was done. But they hit
Right.
this actually happened. This actually happened. I'm not.
I think I remember that.
Can't even laugh. Can't even laugh about it. The dude did that. Smash the deadlift, smash the bench press, smash the squat record, and then say, okay, I now re-identify as male, and went home with the records. So now he got the records.
But gents,
Stupid. That's how
What we
stupid
gonna
we
do,
are.
right? So since they good on that law, right? What else are we gonna do right here? We're gonna go. But you said it is. Wait, you said they on that Kent, Australia.
Yeah, Australia and
Okay,
UK.
we go Austria going to the UK. We're gonna rob the most profitable bank over there, right?
But
And
robbing is
when they catch us, we're gonna identify as the money itself.
Ah, yeah. Good one.
Good one.
Good one. And we just hanging out with our
We
friends.
just we just hanging out, bro.
We hanging out with our friends.
That's it.
And we
I
have
like
separation anxiety.
That's
identify
it.
as money.
Please keep us together. Please
Yeah.
keep the money together. You separate us, we need
But,
help.
but bro,
But someone says this.
there are trans men in women's prisons that
Yeah.
are one either beating up or raping the women
Or
in the
both.
prison. Okay,
Hmm.
that's not cool. And I don't understand how anybody,
Yeah.
man, woman, feminist, left, right, up, down. I don't care how you could sit back and say that's okay. That is not okay.
No, it's not
How,
okay. And
how is that okay?
the danger is
But Ken,
what
you
happens
have to
next.
understand this though. I'm sorry to make it sound this way that I'm constantly nitpicking. That is not a man's problem. That is it's out of our hands. No, no, ladies, hold on. Listen to me. Listen to me. We ain't fixing this for y'all. We ain't fixing this for y'all. Because y'all allowed it to be cool on some equality shit. Now that it's out of hand, you want shit to get back into how it was traditionally. It don't work that way. It took mad years to get to this point, right? So it's going to take mad years to correct it.
Yeah, we've been boxed out. Pretty
Here's an
much.
argument. Here's an argument that I heard that was put against me. A lot of people know, like I used to, and I still might bleach my hair blonde.
Mm.
I want to say that is not me identifying as a blonde.
Yes, but
That
what you
is
talking about?
no, that is a costume.
Stop
That
it,
is
bro.
a
You better
that
find
is a
it.
that is a gimmick. That is something I literally do for
Blonde.
attention, the type of attention. I don't want people to see me and say that's a normal
Tyson,
person.
Tyson,
I
you
Tyson,
want
missed
I
it.
ain't
people to
flying with us,
see
Tyson,
boy.
me
you missed it.
and
I
I
ain't flying with us,
identify
boy.
as Tyson Knight.
No,
Tyson, you
no,
missed it.
I
You
ain't
missed
flying
it.
with us. Sorry.
You missed it.
Go ahead.
Tyson, you missed it. You
What I
missed it.
miss?
You
Get
don't
him,
have to.
Ken.
You don't have to dye your hair, bro. Just identify as blonde.
Say it.
Hmm.
You
Just
don't have to dye your
identify
hair
as
no more.
blonde.
I identify as black hair. I have a black beard. That's it.
Yeah, me
What?
personally, I identify as handsome.
Hold on. I don't. I don't want y'all to miss my point. My my point.
You are
My
blonde, Tyson. If you
my
say you're
point is
blonde, you're a
no,
grown man. If you say you're
no,
blonde, you blonde.
You blonde, boy. Hey, Dyson, you here blonde, boy.
So
no,
if the police is
no,
looking for you, if there's a warrant for your
no,
arrest and it say black haired
no,
male, it's not you because you are
no,
blonde.
no. I am not blonde. You know why I am not blonde? Because if I
Why?
leave the bleach in my hair too long, I will be bald, not blonde. If I
So,
if
so,
I
so what you
if
trying?
I
So what you
if I
trying to say is
if
that
I
you
go too long
discriminating
without
against
bleaching it,
against bald guys now?
they
I
You
are.
don't,
That's
toxic,
I
boy.
don't
isn't that
identify
what the
as
Dyson,
B
you
bald.
for?
toxic. You
I don't
Isn't
toxic,
that
boy.
identify
what the
as
B
bald.
for?
You
Isn't it?
toxic.
That's
I don't identify as
LG
bald.
Good.
LGB. Isn't the B for bald?
Yeah,
I don't
it could
identify
be
as
so bald.
I don't identify as bald.
What you identify as, Ken Bazard?
Afro.
No, no. Decisively deficient
There you go.
inherently.
Anyway,
On my
gents, we rounding up on an hour, and the question of the 44th episode of the Sup'm Show was what and why pride. We did go over why pride. We understand in 1966 it is the personal rights of defense and education, and then it lasted 2 years, and they actually disbanded because of internal conflicts. And I think that's what the organization, the LGBTQ plus community is about to experience at a grand scale right now is a lot of internal conflicts because it ain't all together. There's a lot of people taking advantage of the opportunity to speak on a platform that say that we all should be this and we all should be that and we all should accept this and we all should accept that. No, every man and woman for himself, because that's what adults do. Like, you, no matter how you team up, you still have a role to play on your team. And if you ain't playing the role that you're supposed to be on your team, you ain't a part of the team.
No, get off. We ain't playing with you.
And that's real talk. And at the end of the day, we're not being unfair. I don't believe in being unfair, unjust to any human being. To any human being, regardless of what you identify. Well, unless you don't identify as human being anymore. I don't know. We don't have any rules to aliens yet. Actually, do
No,
praise
people
aliens.
identify as cats and spirit angel and dragons. So yeah.
It gets complicated, people, and I say keep it simple, man. Identify as simple. Identify as handsome. Make it easy. Yeah, man. But shout out to everyone that is still on cue, on target, on a mission to ensure that human rights are respected. Um, and let's build a planet that is about that. But
Yep.
don't just be weird because you want to make other people uncomfortable. Or you hurt, so you want to see which way you can make you. I know you want to hurt your parents, or you want to hurt somebody, or whatever. If you operating in love, great, man. But if you operating from some weird place, then we don't really want you on the human team. Come
I
off
go
the
there
human
to
team
identify as Martians.
altogether. Yeah. Just come off the human team altogether. And that's probably what we need to do in sports and every other place. If you want to create a new gender and be a trans female or trans male, then maybe we should have the trans female category to race in. What's wrong? Why do you want to become something else and then be included in what it is that you and be included into anything? You want to be individualized, you want to be different, you want to be unique. So
Yep.
be unique, be yourself, go in your own lane, live there. I mean, that's my take. Any final words, gents?
Okay. I'll take it on.
Um, so, like I said, and I 100% agree, and I think we all agree on this. Every human should have the right to love who they want to love, be with who they want to be with. Um, there are just a few things that I think should be the standard across the board. Number one, sexual content is not for children. So the discussion of who sleeps with who or who does what sexual interaction with who is not for children and is not appropriate to be taught in school. That's my position on that, and I'm not going to change that for anybody. Secondly, in my opinion, if you were born with an XY chromosome, I don't think it's okay for you to strike somebody that was born with an XY, with a XX
XX.
chromosome, with an XX chromosome, for whatever, to be abusive in that manner. There's self-defense and there's abuse. I still believe gentlemen should be gentlemen. And I believe gentlemen should approach from a position of knowing that they can do a lot of damage physically in a confrontation, in most cases anyway. And nevertheless, I'm gonna hold as a man. I identify as a what they call us again, as a cis male. So I identify as a male. I'm not cis male. I'm just a male. I'm a
AKA
man.
toxic male. Go ahead.
I'm gonna open the door for females. If there's a puddle there and I got a jacket and it's raining and I gotta cover my wife's head with my jacket, I'm gonna take my jacket off. I'm gonna get wet and I'm gonna put it over her head. I'm gonna do that for my wife, and I don't know. I might even do it for a random female if she needs it, because I
Only,
identify.
only but to turn around and say you a weirdo, not
Because
the
I
wife, the random
Against her
female.
will,
Yeah,
though.
because
Against her will.
I'm gonna stand out as a weirdo. I'm gonna because I'm a man, and that's what I'm gonna be. Right.
All right.
The third thing is my third agenda and pet peeve. I would say agenda, but my third pet peeve is again competition in sports. I agree with Dyson, and as you find in most cases, these former male athletes were very mediocre in their divisions. They
Mhm.
weren't world champions. They weren't anywhere near being at the top of, maybe not even in the middle of the rankings in their sport. So they decide that they want to dominate They want to dominate. So they go to where they see they can dominate, right? And they're pushing for the right to do that. In my opinion, you're a bully. And only bullies look at smaller opponents. Only
Mm-hmm.
bullies, only
Mm-hmm.
bullies try to take guaranteed fights, a fight that they know they can win. Only
Yep.
bullies do that. Only bullies do that.
Yep.
Right?
Cowards.
Real men, cowards. Only cowards do that. Okay? You're a real competitor. You want to challenge. You want to fight
Yep.
somebody who's a match for you. You want to fight
Yep.
somebody who can beat you. I would
Better
love to
than
fight
you.
somebody who can beat me. Oh, because
Exactly.
ain't much people can beat me. So I would love to fight somebody who could beat me. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Real men take that type of approach to life, and we take that type of approach to competition because we're naturally competitive. Men who want to go out there and just demolish the field, dude, you're a bully and you're a coward, in my opinion. And who have a problem with that, come see me. I'm easy to find. But 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 it's all in the grand scheme of things, and I'm gonna close out. Is all in love, and for you trying to force me to speak a certain way or behave a certain way that I don't agree with, in my opinion, that's oppression. That's abusive. Um, and that's something that I am going to defend. My right to speak what I want, the way I feel like speaking, the same way they want to feel like speaking. You want to identify as a different word every day. That's up to you. You have a right to do that. I have
Yep.
a right. I have the same right to not do that, to
Yeah.
not join you.
Yeah.
And if we can't respect each other's rights, then we're going to always have a problem. Everybody just need to respect everybody's rights and and just and just leave it alone. But when you try to force it on kids, when you try to shove it down my throat, and when you use it to abuse people
Pause.
that are weaker and smaller than you, I can't stand for that.
Yeah.
All
One.
right. Um, whether we like it or not, this is here to stay. Okay. The way things are going, it's not going to get better. And if it does get better, it will get progressively worse first before, it gets better. As a man and an individual that actually owns a legitimate business here in Florida, right? Whether I like it or not, it doesn't matter where I stand on this personally. It doesn't matter how I feel personally about this. Okay. As a man in business, you have no choice but to interact with all genders. Okay. It would be foolish of me to alienate myself out of that particular dealings. Okay. My whole thing with the whole agenda that's being pushed, like Ken said, my brother said, if you have your way of doing things, whether it's in private, whether it's in public, whatever, that's you. You're an adult. You're responsible for your own decisions. My biggest problem is when you try to enforce your beliefs on children, all right? And especially we're talking about children that's to the age where sometimes they don't even know what's better, what's good for themselves. And my other biggest problem is that 8 times out of 10, maybe higher, the parents of these kids, they don't see nothing wrong with it. That's the sad part about it. It's kind of like there's schools in California right now that you can go into the library on campus, primary schools we're talking about here, and you will find numerous books in that library called the gay BCs, not the ABCs. I said the gay BCs. Okay, as in B is for bi, and so on and so forth, whatever. And the thing is, there are pictures in these books because kids at that age they're not really much on reading. No, looking at the illustrations and the cartoon and the way how they draw things is more attractive to them. So there are pictures in these books that actually show legitimate sexual acts, bro. That's how far we going off the cliff. And it's sad to say, I don't know if we can get it back. But see, these books are okay to be in the school, but you can't find one Bible. You can't find one Bible. Now, I'm not saying you must believe in the Lord Jesus Christ because, truth be told, I'm not the most religious guy out here. But the point I'm trying to make is, shouldn't there be, both sides as far as an ability to choose
Hmm.
what, they want to do? Because pretty much, if you're taking one thing away and keeping one thing around, you're pretty much pushing them in that direction. And it's gotten so bad to the point that even if you are a parent that try to speak up to the school committee for your own fucking child, you get shut down for your own child, bro. See, now that's an agenda right there that I could never get down with. I could never get down with that. And it's so funny. I saw a YouTube video where there was a father. I think he was a pastor. He actually was reading inserts from this KBC's book, and the committee, the school board says, "Hold on, sir. You need to stop. What you're saying right now is pretty explicit. I don't think you can say it." But y'all actually have it in the library for them to read them.
Hmm.
So do you actually read these things and look at them before they go to the library? Of course they do. Of course they do. But when like I always say, when 95% of the people are stupid out here, bro. And you got to be very careful what you ask for, because people will literally take what you ask for and multiply that by 10. And now when it's out of control and oh my God, it's a problem, you can't control it anymore. It's already out of your hands. And let's be honest, a child's majority of the day and time is spent in school, not in the care of you as a parent. So if you have the teachers that's down with it, you have the school committee that's allowing it, you got friends that they play with, whether it be male or female, that's down with it, kids that's learning the same thing. The principal or whoever the school is down with it. What do you think is eventually going to happen? But are we surprised that we're at this point in life? Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. I saw this coming years ago. But people tell me, but you don't know what you're talking about, but you're crazy, blah, 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 you hating, blah, 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 blah. Now, when they ain't coming at us no more, because, we have common sense. Now, when they're coming at your kids, now is when you want to cry and say, oh, you can't. No, they actually could. Because the time when you should have been paying attention, you wasn't. You was too busy screaming equality. Now, when you got that equality for you, now you don't want it? No. Equality comes in two forms: equal rights and equal lefts. You got to take both to the chin and take it.
Hmm.
And I'm going to leave it there.
All right, that's that. I mean, there's a whole lot more we could say, but we have more episodes. Next week could be episode 45. We're supposed to have these topics already ready for the end of the show. I dropped the ball on that one.
You want me to drop on the topic coming up next week?
Yeah. You want to be bold, be
All right,
brave.
y'all. Here we go. And I'm going to pick this one up. This was one of my topics. And this goes for men or a woman, right? Should you stay and be loyal in a sexless marriage?
That's the episode next week. Should you stay loyal in a sexless
marriage?
That will be episode 45, Sunday at 6:30 Eastern Time, as we are always here live on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do have a Facebook page and an Instagram page and even a TikTok page, and they will be populated in short order. So make sure you follow us on all platforms. We have a lot to say. This is the Sup'm Show, where we talk it out so we can figure it out, so that we can work it out, make the world a better place.
That's the hand, Dyson. That's the one. Wrong hand.
Good night. Be safe.
Peace, y'all. Take care of yourselves.